Silksong is a game with a very wide range of playstyles. You've got 7 crests in the game, each having their own unique and strong weak points. But what if we could take every strong ability of your choice from any crest and merge it all together? Well, that's exactly what I'm doing today. First, I'm gonna choose 10 blue tool slots because I want Hornet to be as broken as possible, and I'm also gonna add 10 yellow tool slots because why not? I have the choice to have an Architect's build here since I can choose to have all 3 red slots, but I also want spells since I like them better, so I'm gonna go with a Shaman spell build here. Now here's the most interesting part, so pay attention or you'll be confused. You can choose your crest, but also change the movesets of the crest. So basically you can have the Wanderer's nail attacks while also having the Shaman's crest, allowing you to have more spell damage and a broken nail DPS. So I'm gonna pick the best crest of all and choose the Hunter's crest since that damage increase is juicy as f. And I'm gonna change the upwards nail attack to the Wanderers and the pogo attacks to the Wanderers as well. Now you might be wondering why I picked 2 of the most basic Wanderers attacks. I mean, the range of it is really small, so that's just a bad decision, right? Well, no. Since I chose to equip 2 of the Wanderer's needle attacks, the game thinks that I have the Wanderer's crest and allows quick slash on the needle along with the Hunter's damage increase. But unfortunately you can only have 1 boost of damage instead of 2 since the creator of the mod used tier 1 upgrade of the Hunter's crest, but it'll do. I hopped in game and the results were astounding. Throughout this challenge, I feel like the spells are going to be more useful than the Hunter's Crest buff. I don't really play much with the Pale Nails, but I really like doing this thing where I activate it last second. This allows the spell to do damage while the boss is roaring. Also check out the needle damage, sheesh! Recently I've been using the Sawtooth Circlet as a tool, and hands down it's the best tool I've ever come across. I don't know why I wasn't using it earlier. Just look at that damage, he's just basically stun locked. You guys wanna know a fun fact? Both the Hunter's Needle and the Wanderer's Needle attack have the same range, but I can't really explain why the Hunter's Needle looks like it has more range. It feels more comforting to play with the Hunter's Needle for some reason. I don't know, I can't really explain it. Solely because of having 3 spells with good needle damage, I must say this feels better than the playable Knight. This is probably a good reason why Team Cherry had to nerf Hornet down a bit. It was to make sure the game wasn't too easy for us. Doing over 170 damage even before the opponent could roar is an insane number. I can't lie, I feel bad for Widow. That Sawtooth Circlet does insane damage. I recently made a short video pointing out how the game has very buggy hitboxes for certain bosses, and I kinda missed moving. Did you see that? I swear this wasn't scripted and that just happened off the get-go. I hope Team Cherry patches their game up a little bit. You guys want to see something really cool? I'm really proud of this little maneuver that I have going for myself. So basically you just slash your nail as much as you can on the last judge and you parry everything. I know it looks difficult, but all you gotta do is just time it right. This really is not that hard. You know, the more that I play this challenge, the more I realize that I prefer silk skills over red tools. I mean, I know people who would prefer tools over silk skills, but what do you guys prefer? I'm actually curious. I don't know if you guys have watched any of my previous videos, but I used to mention how I had to respect Nightmare King Grim because it's near impossible to cheese him. He just does that balloon attack and you can't really do anything. But ironically, Trovio is the same because he just goes off stage and takes up time. Alright, I'm gonna have to take damage here because I have to finish the fight quicker. There we go. You know, the Circlet might seem like a very good tool, but it's not that great against opponents that are just as tall as Hornet. Because you kinda have to jump and you have to be very precise if they're shorter. Otherwise you're just going to end up jumping over them and that's gonna cost you some free damage. This works really well with tall opponents like Carmelita and the Last Judge. And maybe even Crest and Khan. Okay, I got a genuine question for you guys, alright? If you do it with yourself using your hand, it's not gay, right? Because it's your own hand. If you do it to a doll, it ain't gay either. So would it be normal for you to do it if you did it to a cockwork dancer since, you know, it's a robot? I know it's modeled after a guy, but it's still a robot. Okay, I'm just gonna shut the hell up now. Alright, look, I'm sorry, it's 3 AM and I've been alone by myself for far too long, okay? Come on, have some sympathy. There's no laws against the robot, Batman. Joker, wait, Joker, that's an inanimate object, Joker. Who's gonna stop me, Batman? I need to get some sleep after this. Okay, I gotta focus now, okay? Come on, you guys making me laugh, shut up. Crawdaddy, please, no, please don't punish me for my sins. Oh shit, it says Crawfather. Alright, no more Gunnar jokes, okay? No more. Damn, that is some insane damage. Oops, there we go. You know, before I discovered the Sawtooth Circlet, this was one of my favorite fights, but after I realized how it worked, it became even better. Because look at that damage. You see that? That is huge. And I just love seeing big numbers pop up on the screen. Also, the pale nails help so much with this segment. It's just so fitting because of the fast pace. I'm gonna be quiet for a while until the fight with Sat ends because I want to pay my respects for him. I know I said I'll stop it with the Gunnar jokes, but imagine the grip. Look at that Mewtwo build. I can't. Oh my god. She can ruin me any day. I don't want to be saved. Please weave your nest on me. You guys ever got curious why Grandmother Silk was so easy? The real challenge wasn't the fight. The real challenge was that you had to keep your hands outside of your pants while playing with her. Okay. Every time I'm fighting the Clover Dancers, I take a moment to reflect upon my words and actions. Sometimes I like to think, am I okay? Because these are just bugs. Maybe I'm taking it a step too far. Maybe I need a social life and maybe I need to go out more and make some new friends. Nah, have you seen Grandmother Silk? Have you seen how bad she is? She looked like a Mewtwo. Oh my god, all I need is that. Turn that into reality. Unpopular opinion, okay? The second Lace boss fight is the most mid-Lace boss fight ever. Like, the first one is nice, okay? Because you're getting used to the whole moveset and everything she parries, and it's kind of fun. The second one is like, eh. I mean, she kind of sucks. The last one's okay, the last one's fun, but the second one's just eh. You guys remember how I mentioned that the Circlet works a lot better against taller opponents like Carmelita and the Last Judge? Well, it works a lot better on opponents with higher HP because they don't die as quickly. I mean, the Last Judge is fine, I like the boss fight, but honestly, no, I kinda like the boss fight, I have no complaints against it. I mean, you're usually really weak when you actually get onto the boss fight. I'm sure they're gonna buff the fight up when you actually meet them in the Pantheon. You know, when I first started playing the game, I really liked playing against Kruskin Khan because of how tanky he was and how you could just swing your nail away at him. But now, the more I play against him, the more boring he becomes, because I get he's tanky, and you could just hack slash away at him and just look at his damage. Yeah, I know you can do that, and that's very satisfying, but the thing is, he doesn't move much. He doesn't have that many attacks to kind of be challenging. He's like the Trader Lord, you know? It's kind of easy, but tanky. I'm so glad that I picked the Wanderer's Pogo, because if I was gonna do this on the Hunter's Pogo, I would have died on the first attempt. And maybe in the next 50 attempts too. Because I cannot for the life of me get used to that pogo on the 45-degree angle. It's just too hard for me. I don't really like roll too much, so I'm just gonna try and damage tank here for a little bit. I don't think I need to though. No, actually I do. I don't want him to dive back inside. There we go. You know, fighting against Lugoli, it makes me wonder, what does Hornet really eat? I mean, she's not made of void, so she can't really get away with not eating anything, and I swear I've seen her drink something in a certain place in this game before. I don't really remember the place or the name of the place, but it was in Greymore, in that little bar area. I mean, she doesn't really even have a mouth, so how does she even eat? On a side note, did you guys know that Hornet was canonically racist towards the flies? She kinda hates them, especially after they took her clothes and put her in prison. That's kinda wild.
I'd be pretty mad too. Especially if I was a woman. Like, imagine I have all the goods. I mean, she doesn't have any goods. She's like a stick figure. But if I had all the goods, then I'd be pretty mad. You know, no matter how many times I play against Garmin and Zaza, I feel like I'm never gonna get used to it because of how weak he is. He's just really weak, you know, I don't really have to learn him in particular. I just have to swing my nail and just parry once in a while and he's dead. I used to really like fighting this guy. I don't really like him as much as I used to anymore because after I found the circlet, I can't really use it on him because he parries everything and blocks it with his sword. But he's not all that bad. The Unraveled still exists for some damn reason. This guy's a lot better than the Unraveled, I'll tell you that much. This guy at least keeps me engaged and has me parry his attacks. At least he's fast, you know, keeps me hooked onto the game. Unlike the Unraveled. Did I mention that I hate the Unraveled? Damn, that boss fight needs to go. God, I used to hate fighting this boss, and don't get me wrong, I still hate fighting this boss, but just because I have 3 spells on me, it makes it bearable. The Threat Storm is an actual clutch for this boss. I'll show you why. You see the spinning discs? They get broken off. Look at this. See? See how neat that is? Also, the Pale Nails are a clutch here, and the Sawtooth Circlet is, of course. Yeah, that's amazing. I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea that I hate the game because I've been on some of the bosses here. So, it's kind of refreshing to tell you guys that this is one of my favorite boss fights. I just don't like the fact that there's somebody chucking rocks at me, but other than that, everything's fine. I like this boss fight a lot. And I also like the small detail where you defeat one of the Forge brothers and the other one just has one name. Usually it says Cygnus and Gron. Now it just says Forge Brother Gron. That's pretty sweet. Guys, you gotta believe me, if it was up to me, I'd skip this boss fight. I'd scrap it from the game. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's not competitive, it's not fast, it's boring. I'm sorry, I know some of you guys really like the fight. I've seen some of you comment about it, but I just cannot bring myself to like this one. This is so slow. Look, it's taking decades for this guy to just show up. And the attacks don't even need my attention to avoid, just stand still and just dodge. And this is just RNG. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a hater. But I can't help it. I don't know if you guys watched my last video, but I kind of mentioned that they buffed Gar, and I had to check the patch notes, and lo and behold, they actually did buff him. If you guys don't know what they buffed up about him, he just kind of does this really quick spinning attack, like this one in particular, where he just kind of spins around. Oh, he's already dead. Oh my. For some of you wondering, you guys want to know why I put Phantom so far into the video? Because I do not know how to fight her yet. Yeah, I have to play really slow. You can actually notice me not being able to cheese her because I'm having to play really slowly to make sure that I don't take any damage. I'm still learning. And I can't even use the Sawtooth Circlet because I don't know her patterns. I don't know when to parry. You see, she's like the Hornet of this game. She goes everywhere. She's all over the screen. You can't pogo off of her. That's not even safe. Because she keeps jumping around and you can't even cling onto a wall and feel safe because she just kind of looks for you. See, I even took damage. I don't like this boss fight. It reminds me of Elder Who and the Fluke Worm. Thanks for some of you guys who pointed that out initially because I couldn't tell who it was. See, now this boss fight I like. Chakra keeps me on my feet. She surprises me even though I've played with her multiple times. It's not easy to get used to because you do have to... Okay, oops, took some damage there. So yeah, like I was saying, it's not easy to get used to because you kind of have to be aware and parry most of her rings. Because you will run out of spells eventually. There we go. I don't like this boss fight. This bitch annoys the f out of me. F this bitch. Oh my god. Even the hitboxes for her is bad. I do not like this fight. Please. You guys mind if I just skip her fight entirely when I make a video like this the next time? Please let me know in the comments because I do not like this woman. I mean, I like her as a character, but I don't like her as a fight. Because she's hella annoying. And even if she gets stunned, she sometimes falls off the map, and that kind of takes away some of the damage that I can do, and that pisses me off a lot. So I have to be very careful fighting this woman. No, I'm actually doing a lot of damage pretty quickly because of the circlet. I'm almost done too. Now this is where the circlet really shines. You guys might want to see this. Look at that. That's double damage over here. I know the numbers aren't showing up, but it is what it is. There is no source. I'm the source. Just trust me, bro. I don't really like boss fights that make me wait too much, and this is one of those fights. Like, unfortunately, most of the fights near the end of the game has to make you wait. I'm just glad that the last boss wasn't like that, because that would be really boring. Don't get me wrong, beating the Bell Eater for the first time was a very good experience because of the story. But after you kind of, you know, have to replay it, it gets annoying because when are you supposed to strike this guy? You cannot just expect me to strike you one time with the needle every time you show your face, right? I mean, I can't just spend the entire boss fight avoiding your attacks. I mean, I'm almost dead. You know, throughout my first run, I thought somebody important was going to die. Some important NPC. But I never expected it to be Garmond because Myla happened in the first game and I thought Sharma was gonna die. But I'm glad Sharma didn't, and you know, I'm not gonna say I'm glad Garmond did, but I'm glad it was Garmond and not Sharma because I kinda like Sharma more. He's just a little kid, you know? I've seen some of you guys actually tell me in the comment section how bad the first Sinner is. And to you guys I have to ask, what the hell is wrong with you guys? It's a bug. I mean, Grandmother Silk, that's valid. That ain't no bug, that's Mewtwo. This, what is this, bro? Have you heard what she sounds like? Come on, dude. Can you imagine you're hitting it from the back and she goes, yeah! Like, come on, I'm the one busting the nut, not you. It's my job. Well, we finally made it to the last boss. Just ignore the Goth Mewtwo baddie in the background. Goth because, well, most of her silk has been unwoven and she's black on the inside. So, sign me up. You know, I don't really like using the circlet against Lost Lace because it doesn't really work properly. But I do really like using the Threat Storm. It works so well for this woman. Some of you guys mentioned how Lost Lace is harder than the Pure Vessel. And to you guys I have to ask, in what world? How? You cannot do stuff like this and get away with it against the Pure Vessel. That's a lot harder. Even though I know the patterns of the Pure Vessel, I still find myself taking some damage. But this one's easy. Whoa, that was close. You guys saw that? That was pretty impressive, right? Hey, come on, you guys saw that, right? That was pretty impressive. Well, you've reached the end of the video now. If you want to try this mod out for yourself, the link for it will be in the description below. Also, consider subscribing because it helps me out a lot.